Hello, beautiful sacred souls. Today we're going to explore 3D versus 5D in a non-shaming way that is trauma-informed, neuroscience-based perspective. What if 3D versus 5D isn't about being more or less evolved, but about what your nervous system is going through in any given moment? And what if nothing about your stress, overwhelm, or struggles means that you're doing anything wrong? Let's talk about this in a way that actually honors how human bodies and brains work. I want to talk about the idea of 3D versus 5D in a way that bridges spirituality, psychology, and neuroscience without shame, without hierarchy, or without bypassing real life. Because this concept gets used a lot in spiritual communities, and it can feel confusing or even harmful depending on how it is framed, especially for those that are currently experiencing a period of their life where external circumstances are traumatic. When people say 3D, they're often referring to stress, fear, conflict, survival mode, feeling separate or overwhelmed. And when they say 5D, they usually mean connection, peace, compassion, presence, a sense of unity, or meaning. Those descriptions can sound very different. A more grounded understanding, instead of thinking of these as dimensions you move up and down between, you can understand them as different nervous system states. From a neuroscience perspective, your body is constantly responding to safety, stress, connection, threat. So what often gets labeled as 3D is your nervous system in a protective, survival-oriented state. And what gets labeled as 5D is often your nervous system in a regulated, connected state. In my experience, both states are actually coexisting simultaneously. There is always a 5D observer presence, and sometimes the body and the nervous system can be responding to stress and survival because that's the way the body is designed to work. So it's not that you move out of 5D, it's that your body is responding to life stressors in a 3D manner, and your consciousness is still observing what is happening. That is the 5D aspect of yourself. Why does this matter? Well, when we turn this into hierarchy, 3D versus 5D, or 3D is bad and 5D is better, it can create shame for individuals that are experiencing a 3D nervous system. And it can make it seem like you're doing something wrong if you're stressed. It can make it seem like you're less evolved if you're overwhelmed. Or you should be able to choose peace no matter what is happening. But that is not how human bodies and brains work. From a trauma-informed lens that explores psychology and trauma science, we know your responses are not failures. They are adaptive, intelligent reactions to experiences and environment. If your system is overwhelmed, anxious, or shut down, that's not because you're in a lower dimension. It's because your body is trying to protect you with the resources it has. It's literally trying to save existing resources so that you can handle the amount of stress that your body is facing in the external world. So how do we bridge this with spirituality? Well, you can still value the intention behind these ideas. There is something real about feeling more connected, being more present, more compassionate, and there is practices designed to help you build presence and capacity. But I don't believe that's about ascending above your humanity. I believe that's about creating enough internal safety and external safety for your system to be able to remain open. So the reality most people are not saying in these 3D, 5D spiritual spaces, you are not able as a human being to live in a constant state of peace and connection. It is not biologically possible. Because if your life conditions change and become stressful or unstable, that is not a failure on your part. That is the world having an existence outside of you. And it means that your nervous system is responding to real life world experiences. So here is a healthier reframe. Instead of I need to get out of 3D and stay in 5D, you might hold the belief system, my system moves between protection and connection depending on what I'm experiencing, and both states are part of the human experience. There is no hierarchy, there is no shame, there is no pressure to override your experience. When you understand it this way, you stop judging your reactions and labeling them as bad. You stop shaming yourself. You stop trying to force yourself into a state you don't have capacity for. And you start working with your body instead of against it. That is where true compassion, which is the 5D, comes in. You start honoring your human experience and offering it care. Science shows that's where real healing and integration happens. You don't need to become someone else to be higher. You don't need to escape your humanity to be spiritual. You get to understand your nervous system, honor your lived experience, and move towards connection at a pace that is actually sustainable. You're not moving between dimensions of worth. You're moving through states of being, and all of them deserve compassion. 3D versus 5D isn't about being more or less evolved. It's about your nervous system moving between protection and connection. You are not failing when you feel overwhelmed. You are responding to life. If this resonates, I hope you'll consider liking, subscribing, sharing your personal experience with 3D, 5D. I'm always open to hearing other perspectives. And if you want to go deeper, I invite you to read my book, The Divine Within, Healing Ourselves to Heal the World, which explores how you can build more presence and capacity, bridging spirituality, psychology, and neuroscience. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, a Reiki master, a yoga coach, so I really understand the perspectives in the different realms and how to bridge them together. Or you can go to my website, blossomingheartwellness.com, to learn more about my online courses or how to work with me. I'm sending you deep love and appreciation for who you are, no matter where you are on your journey of being a human being.